sound really fine. 아무렇지 않은 척 아무도 모르게 조심하는데 또 티가 났나 봐. Sound really fine. 너와 함께 했었던 시간이 길었어.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update on my life. A little bit some information about how to start your own makeup line and also traveling. So, as you know, I haven't been posting anything on YouTube for maybe a week or a little bit over a week. And on Instagram, I stopped completely, no stories or anything like that. I have been messaging a couple of people who I've chosen as the winners of the giveaway that I'm still currently doing that doesn't end until May 12th. So if you want to be able to enter to win, check that out. I just finished doing morning rotation, and when I do morning rotation, I actually get sleep deprived. I'm a morning person, but when I have to do repetitively, it wears me down. So lack of sleep made me have lack of energy. I did have a couple of videos already made in film. All I had to do was edit them for YouTube so that way I could keep it up until I had time to actually film anything. I chose not to do it because I really didn't have the energy to do so. I'm still currently in school. That doesn't end until May 14th. I was doing schoolwork and then working, and then it just got to me. On Instagram, I was posting, like still on my story, kind of trying to post like every single day, but I got tired of getting up even earlier just to do like the little bit of what I know for makeup and everything like that. So to do my little 30-day challenge that I was doing, so I ended up stopping that. I did get a couple of people messaging me whether or not I was okay, and I messaged back. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just, I'm trying to catch up on my sleep. With school, it got extended to May 14th. That's because the 3 weeks that we had off, only one considered as spring break. The other two ended up being added to May. So we're going to do kind of like a catch-up game, basically. We're going to end a spring semester late, start summer semester late, but end it later. And then most likely for fall, we'll, instead of getting out in the beginning of December, we'll probably still be in school mid-December. So we're just playing catch-up so that way we can be good for 2021. Now, I was enrolled in 4 classes, which was medical terminology, math, English, and the college success that you always have to do when you start school. And with that, I did have to drop my math and English. Math, I'm actually really, really good at, but only in class for some reason. I have to hear when he's teaching us. I'm not the type of person who writes notes anyways. I do sometimes write notes if it's something like a difficult equation, but I have to hear it. And since I'm not able to hear it, stuff that I had already learned, it struggled for me, like to the point I could not even finish one homework. And English is something I struggle with no matter what in physical class. I ended up having like a 60 something. It wasn't even a passable grade by like at the end of January. And I worked myself up during that next almost 2 months when we got out in March to like an 88. And I started failing again the moment we went on to online. So I realized I would not be able to pass these classes. And so it doesn't affect my GPA. So it doesn't affect my financial aid. I was withdrawn for the class. And withdrawn is basically you put a W on your grade. The teachers withdraw you. You're no longer in there. You can't see their subjects. You can't see the content. You basically paid for that class, but you did not complete it. So I will have to redo those in August. Right now, my school supposedly said we'll have physical class in August. It's still online for summer, which really, really sucks. But the classes I have for summer is something I similar did to homeschooled in high school. So I know I can more or less keep up with it, and I'll be able to more or less pass. Now, whether or not we'll have physical class in August, I'm not really sure. My cousin's college has said it will be online until spring semester in 2021 is when they'll finally have physical class. So I'm not really sure. I really hope we have physical class because I got to do anatomy and I got to redo my English and math, and I can't do those online. I really can't. If they do like Zoom classes and stuff like that, maybe, but they didn't do that for spring, so I highly doubt they'll do that for summer or fall, because, you know, online classes is online classes. You don't have like a virtual class or anything. You just given the material, you study on your own, and you complete the task within a timely manner when they're due. That's how it is. I know a lot of people were having Zoom classes. I wish we were able to have that. I probably wouldn't have to have, you know, drop 2 of them, but we didn't. And it is what it is. I'm not really too worried about it. My advisor is going to help me with it because I did have to have my English completed before I do my anatomy. But she says hopefully I'll be able to do both of them at the same time. And given the situation we were thrown into when I was signed up for it, they might allow it, which I'm really hoping they will. Because so that way I'm like on the right track and I will be able to enter my core classes where I'm actually doing rounds in the hospitals next year, which hopefully I can do it in my own hospital that I work in, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out because I currently work there. I work in a retail pharmacy. I hated it, but you know, I never actually signed up for that position. I was moved into that position because the pharmacy manager there saw my potential and how I worked hard bringing them, you know, people who had questions about medications and everything, something that, you know, I was just a cashier, didn't know about, but I was the type of person who always like was walking in the store and ask people like, did you need something? Like, are you finding everything okay? Like, if I can't, I will direct you to the person who can help you. And so I was moved into the retail pharmacy. I was super happy because I was getting more hours. I was able to request off like months in advance, and I never had to work those days that I requested off. And in there, my pharmacy manager is very like, go to school. Go to college, get a degree, Trust me, I don't want to see you working here for the rest of your life. You can do better. And I was like, wow, okay. So I had actually went to Europe that year, and he was super happy, and he was kind of like proud. He was like, you know, that's really, really good. He was like, if you go to college and you get a degree and you're able to work in that degree, you can do more of this. You could travel the world and be able to have a good retirement and everything. So he was very motivational about us going to college. And while I was there, when I went to Europe in March, the company that I went with, which I'll be doing more videos about that as well, and I'll go into a little bit more details. They do like a discount. If within 3 months from your travel, you're able to book something and get like about $300 off your next booking. So I did. I actually booked for Japan 2020 in June. And I did that last year in April of 2019 when I had came back from Europe. We never knew that there was going to be a pandemic. But the original date I was supposed to go was September in 2020 for Japan. But my manager, you know, he was very motivational. He was like, if you didn't like nursing, do something else. Do you want to work in a hospital? He was like, you're working here, you understand how to deal with the people, how to answer the phone calls, how to do the prescriptions, how to do the insurance. You basically know how it is more or less in a hospital, but you know, like you're not running around to different rooms, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's technically true. And I was like, you know, I do like working with some of the customers, but I was like, to be honest, I would rather not deal with customers. And I was like, I know how to do insurance and I know how to fix that. I know how to call them. I was like, that would be kind of cool, how to bill people's insurance if it was, you know, like hospital-wise or something. So I started looking into colleges and I started looking at the programs. Something that kind of interested me was it was basically with nutrition and stuff like that, because I do have some health issues, and that really interested me, but it was purely online. And then second thing that interested me was radiology, because you're able to work in the hospital, but you don't really deal with people. You deal with more of getting the images developed, putting them, you know, in the paperwork and everything like that. So I was like, ooh, less people. You do gotta walk around, you still do work, you do like different types of stuff will work on the computer. I was like, that would be kind of cool. So I started getting my transcripts for my homeschool. I started doing my financial aid, did the paperwork, did the exams, went and did the past exams, and met my advisor. And that's when I told her, I have a trip planned in September next year to Japan. And I was like, I know more or less there's not a break. So she was able to find the breaks that we had, which dates we get off, which dates we come back. And with the company that I go through, if you book in September, you can't rebook anything, like change it afterwards. You can only do it before. So I was able to change it for June because we have summer break and I don't have to worry about missing class because I had planned on doing physical class until, you know, this happened. So I switched it. So I do want to put it out there. You know, this was planned over more than a year ago. So it's not like I was trying to look for cheap travel fares and go and take advantage of the situation, because I know sometimes, I know some people are doing that, and I do know that travel fares are getting a little bit more cheaper, but I think with the country opening up, it's supposed to go back, you know, regularly, but I didn't want people to think that I'm putting myself in danger and putting others in danger by traveling to a different country that has nothing to do with it. To my knowledge, Japan hadn't closed down yet. I think they're still open. I think they've been able to maintain the COVID-19 cases to a good amount, I believe. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on this. But since, you know, with everything going on, they are doing it month to month. So I actually really truly won't know until June, around the second week of June, if I'll be able to go to Japan. And my trip is like about 9 days, I think, 9 or 10 days. So like it's about a week. It's about a week and a half. And if I'm allowed to go, I'm still going to go. And I know with everything going on, you have to take precaution. You probably shouldn't, but you know, like it's not refundable. So it's like non-refunds because they're not technically to blame for this. It's not their fault. They couldn't prevent it. It's not their fault that happened. So the company does not have to give you your money back. They have no obligations. Now you can switch it for a later date, but I did this around my work. I did this around my school. And plans for YouTube is that I will upload the videos that I already have already ready. And I might not be as active as I used to be on Instagram. I wasn't even that active to begin with on there. It was like that type of app that I had every once in a blue moon I would actually post something. But I got really into it, especially since I started doing YouTube. But I was like, I'll see what happens. I'll probably post, you know, like travel related stuff or makeup line related stuff or life stuff or whatever. So I do plan on doing more travel videos more than makeup. The videos that I do already have filmed, I'll probably finish editing them and post them along the way. Basically what company I go with to make it affordable. And so anybody could probably potentially go. What I normally tend to pack, what I learned from my first experience traveling internationally, and, you know, tips and tricks, what you should take and everything, like, you know, like the basic travel things, but, you know, learning from my experience and my opinions, and how to start your own makeup line. I did a poll on Instagram like about 3 to 4 weeks ago, or even longer than that. I was supposed to film this a long time ago, but I was struggling with school at that time, so I put this to the side. I have made some products, which I'll pop it here and there on the video, and the designs and stuff. So I wanted to explain a little bit. Makeup line would probably be a series of different types of videos, and the reason why is because there's a lot of information. One question that I was asked, well, there's two main questions that I wanted to go ahead and answer in this video. Was one from the lovely Brianna, was what's the inspiration behind this? And the second one was by Keon, can't pronounce the last name, but was how much money do you need to start this? Now, everything else I will go into greater details a little bit, answer your questions in a different video, and some of your questions may be answered in this video anyways. And the inspiration behind this is purely educational. I wanted to give people the opportunity to basically have the work done. I looked onto YouTube. There's really not that many people who show you what vendors to go through, which websites or anything and stuff like that. And I wanted to break it down. What's the difference? Because there is a difference between wholesale and non-wholesale. That's what I'm calling it. Basically, there's two different ways how you could do a makeup line. And a lot of people weren't explaining that. They just gave you your tips. But I wanted info. They were like, you have to look online, search, blah, blah, blah. It took me days, hours, etc. I'm like, okay, yeah, but what is it? Like, what are the websites? Like, what did you do? Like, yeah, you could tell me tips and tricks of how you made your makeup line, but if it's the exact same thing that I see in every single video, I'm not going to get no new information. So with the makeup line, the inspiration is, like I said, educational. I used to own a business in high school online. I did baking and crochet. So baking, cupcakes, cakes and stuff, I did it through Facebook and Instagram mainly. And it was only local because you can't really ship that type of stuff. I was homeschooled for high school due to a certain situation that happened in middle school. So I was homeschooled. And I was homeschooled. I was actually home by myself. My older brother was here, but it was basically me. He wasn't, like here. He's just like parental supervision without being a parental supervision. But after I turned 16, I was allowed to be at the house by myself. So during the homeschooling, I did baking. I did making cupcakes, cakes. My online store that I had was crochet. I know how to knit and crochet, outfits, anything really. I know how to make a full-on dress from baby, like newborn, all the way to like a toddler who's 5. I know how to make tank tops. I know how to make bunnies. I know how to make stuffed animals, hats, jackets, blankets, everything. And I used to sell them, but the only issue that I had doing it through Facebook and Instagram was, yeah, I could ship those type of products, but some people did not want to pay up front. And how would I receive their money if they're not local? And I did it through PayPal. So I did actually make a website. I do have experience in that, how to create your website, how to add product, how to do shipping, how to estimate the prices, how to do the whole entire thing. So I would do a whole separate video about that and my experience and what I learned, how to do it, which websites you can do to create your own websites, and everything like that. So if you having issues creating your websites or how you can do it, how to design it, then I will do a video about that, especially if you're already set, ready to go, and you have your products and everything, you just don't know how to make a site. That's really going to help you. Now, I'm going to say this, it's not due to COVID-19, not due to the pandemic. I'm not being, racial discriminated. I'm not being no type of discriminated against, the Asian country right now, but I'm not going to find vendors over there, not because, like I said, not COVID, not pandemic. I don't care about that. It's shipping. I was never planning on doing anything from over there to begin with, and that's because shipping. Now, you could potentially get free samples from them a lot quicker. You could probably even get a whole collection like free samples. Shipping is going to be an issue because, one, shipping costs from a different country costs a lot. Customs, if you're getting a whole collection, just imagine the weight, the price of the box and everything can probably cost you like about $50 or even more. Minimum, I want to say, for even shipping international, even if it's like lightweight, it's like about $25 or more. So just imagine if you're trying to get a whole collection. And if you have to do that multiple times with different types of vendors, because, you have to go through the formula, you have to go with the color. Sometimes it could be a bright red, but it doesn't put off as a bright red. You have to test it out. You have to swatch it. You have to change stuff. It's not going to be perfect in one go. So just imagine wasting $25 to $100 on shipping more than once. 2, is that if your product gets lost, they're not held accountable. You cannot do anything to them about it. If your product gets lost in the United States, that's the shipping and the postal service. Even if you file a claim, you can't really do nothing about it. You can't get your money back. You can't tell the company like, hey, I lost it, I want new ones. No. Some of them do take responsibility and send your whole entire product again, free shipping to you, but some of them will only give you discounts. And that's the second thing, because you have to realize, if you did it once with one company and it got lost, you wasted $50 on shipping, you have to repurchase it, or you have to go with a different company, start brand new all over again, and then pay for the shipping. You have to realize that when getting something like this out of the country, customs can be an issue. Now, it doesn't mean you won't receive it, especially now with COVID-19. You still be able to receive it. I've shipped things internationally to giveaway winners. They have received them with no issues. It hasn't been nothing wrong with it. It does take a little bit longer, but just imagine getting like a full-on collection of makeup. It's not going to be a couple of days. It's going to be a couple of weeks, even maybe a month and a half or two. So you do have to put that in retrospect, especially now. Even before COVID-19, it probably would have taken like at least 2 to 3 weeks, because it is an international package. You just have to realize that. So that's the main reason why I'm not going to try to verify certified vendors or anything like that. Now, if you want me to help you guys out, especially if you want to get somebody, want to know the difference between the manufacturer costs and everything like that, and you potentially want to be able to get vendors and want to know which vendors you could get from out of the country, let me know in the comments down below. I will gladly look up some information and make a video about that, but that's probably not going to be top priority for me. So it'll probably be like much later. So that's the main reason. That's the issue. Now, wholesale and non-wholesale can be the different. How much money do you need to start? Is it a couple million, a couple thousand, or a couple $100? Well, it's different between both of those. Like I said, shipping. Now, if you're trying to get locally in the United States, Mexico, Canada, like within this hemisphere, if you can, not within this hemisphere, but within this country, you most likely would not get free samples. You probably could, but of course you do have to pay for shipping most of the time. It is like a really big topic and so much information, but I do want to break it down a little bit in this video, and I will probably do a different type of sit down video of just wholesale and then non-wholesale. But wholesale makeup is basically where you have more creativity, okay? More creativity, but you have to make your website. You have to deal with the shipping to your customers, how much you're going to do that. That's all on you. That's not on them. Now you have to find vendors, whether or not they do the tubes as well and only formulas, that's going to be another issue. So you have to realize whenever you're looking for a vendor for an eyeshadow palette, you have to make sure, are they going to provide you for the palette? If they are they going to let you design it? You have to think about that. You have to ask, you have to email. It's a lot of business talk. Now, the more upfront you are, the more business-like you sound, they will gladly give you free samples and be like, hey, these are some of our products that we made, so you can test out the formula before you even start throwing your designs at them, because they want to make a sale, okay? They want to make a sale. They want to make sure you're interested in them, so you purchase from them. Now, wholesale, you have to remember, you have to have at least some storage. It's going to be real difficult to be able to find somebody who's willing to only send you only 50 units per product, or even less, because you're starting out. Because wholesale, you have to pay for your units before you receive them. And that means, just imagine if you just want to do lipsticks. You're doing 10 colors. You're going to do a lipstick collection. You want to do all nudes, all brides, all rainbows, etc. Difference is that you do 10 lipsticks. This is just an example. I hardly doubt you'll be able to find anybody local to do this manufacturer price, but let's say manufacturer price to make the formula for your packaging, like you're able to get somebody to make all of this for you. Your box, your tubes, your formula, the whole shebang. Let's say the manufacturer cost for everything, just an example, is $1. You have 10 colors. That's $10. But you're a starting company. You can't really afford to get 1,000 units per color because you're starting out. It's not like, you'll be able to sell those 1,000 units. So let's say you wanted to start off with 20. Okay, that's 20 of each color. That's 200 tubes of lipsticks because it's 20 each color. You have $10, 10 colors. That's 200. Now, if manufacturer cost for the whole entire thing is $1 each, that's going to be $200 for everything. And you have to pay that up front. But you pay it, let's say you have the money. You saved up your money or you got a loan or something like that. You pay for it once they finish producing it, which I think it takes like a couple of weeks. I want to say within like 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you most likely receive your products. They send it to you. Now, it is only like 200 tubes of lipsticks. That's not that big of an inventory, to my opinion. You could probably leave it in the box that it came with and then release your store. You have your website design, blah, 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 blah. And you have your price of everything that you're going to ship it. And how much you're going to sell the products. But just imagine if you're doing a full collection. You have to have a place to put all this stuff because once they finish making it, they don't keep it. They send it to you. Unless it's going to be a lot harder to find someone just to do 20 units because they go over quantity. The manufacture process, the how they make the makeup, the formula and stuff like that. It's not like you're going to be able to find somebody for it. There's a good bet that if you do find somebody who's willing to do a very small unit quantity, it most likely will be like at least 100 or more. I want to say it'll probably be even hard to convince somebody to give you like 50 units of each color, but you just have to imagine the manufacturer cost between the units, between how many stuff you're getting. That's how much you pay. That's how much you're actually going to need. And there's really no amount of money that how much that you should have, but I do want to say that you could technically start out without having no money and then later try to find investments or promote your things, try to get people interested in it. Yeah, and you can get investors, but it is really hard because you are a starting company. And just like Jeffree said, his manufacturer cost is actually really, really expensive, which is why the value of his products are that price. But like his lipsticks, he's underselling them. They're only $18. The manufacturer cost probably costs about that amount of money because they are a different shape. Now if you plan on doing like a butterfly or a rainbow or like a shape of something like that because you want to be creative, just that's gonna bring up the manufacturer cost even more. If you're able to do a simple design and keep it simple, it may even bring down your cost less. But you just have to imagine that could be a ton of money, especially if you don't know if you could sell all those units. And that's only if you could get somebody to like give you a little bit of units, to do you that favor. Some people may even be willing to do that. Some vendors might. If you're doing more than just lipsticks, if you're doing like other different types of collections, if you're doing like 10, 20, like maybe 10 different colors of lipsticks, 5 different colors of local lipsticks, and maybe like an eyeshadow palette, they may be able to give you a little bit of minimum quantity each one if you have like a ton of products. But that is still a lot more money. And if you're doing it United-based, Canada-based, or Mexico-based, manufacturer costs can be really up because they're using local products. Now, like I said, you do creativity, but you do have to figure out everything else. Non-wholesale, which is what I'm calling it, is basically there's companies who make everything for you. You basically come up with the idea, but everything's limited. Now, there is a difference between non-wholesale. There's different types of websites, different types of companies. The company I'm working with right now has colors already preset. All you got to do is choose your color, change the name, or keep the name. Packaging, you're not allowed to decide that. You're not allowed to decide the colors. You're not allowed to decide the color of the tubes. You're not allowed to change anything. Creativity is not given to you. It's literally nothing. You can add a logo on there, which I did, put Lovely Vibes. I decided to call it Lovely Vibes Cosmetics. I did have it first. My domain is KC Cosmetics or something like that. But I decided to change the name because it didn't really look cute on the bottle. And Lovely Vibes, I like flowers and butterflies. It looked a little bit better. So the creativity is not there. Now it is free, but it's limited. Now I can make concealer, I can make foundation, different colors, liquid lipsticks, everything, except I can't make palettes, I can't make skincare, I can't make anything like that. Now, can I create eyeshadows? Yes, I can, but it's single shades in those type of containers. They have the containers, they have the tubes, they have everything to make it. They give you a website. All you have to do is design it, change the layout and everything. They do the shipping for you. They have the shipping cost. So once they make the product, they send it directly to your customers. You do not have to worry about having inventory in your own home or finding a storage unit where you can have this inventory. They will do low unit quantity. You can have 1 per color, 2, 10, 20, 1,000. It's really up to you, and which is really, really awesome. Now, the best part about this, you would probably need maybe a couple $100. I want to say $100 to $200 if you're deciding to do non-wholesale. And the reason why is because you don't get free samples. You have to pay the manufacturer cost. So for example, if lipstick costs $10, that is including the tube, the formula, the packaging, the box, and everything, $10. And they actually tell you how they recommend it for you to sell it. They give you a recommended price so you know how much, if you sell this amount of units, this is how much money you're going to make. And with that, when you order your sample, you pay those $10 per color, per lipstick. And that's where, I mean, you'll probably need a couple $100 because to actually test it out. Now, you'll probably need more. I would probably say only stick with a minimum of quantity, minimum of colors, minimum of different types. And that's just so you can probably get a matte, a sequence, a cream of eyeshadows, a matte, a regular, and whatever, of lipsticks and stuff like that, and just test them out. You don't really have to get all the colors. You don't really need to test out like all the shades. If you don't want to, just get like the different types of formulated ones like mattes, regulars, etc., glitters, pales, opaques, or whatever they're called. And test them out, see how they come out, if you like them, and then you're like, yeah, I want these. Or if you don't want these, you just delete them and delete the product and everything like that from your catalog. And then you can release your store. And that's the free version. Now, of course, most of these non-wholesales, you do have to pay monthly. If you stick with the free version, everything is like that, but you can only get you can only get samples one at a time. So if you get a lipstick in red, you can only get a lipstick in red, and then you have to order separately your other color and your other product and everything. And you do have to pay for shipping. Shipping's only like $2.99. And that's what the company I'm working for. Now, each company is different. I am going to look for other companies as well. How much they charge monthly. Do they have a free version? What's their creativity? And compare them as well. So with this company I'm working for, I feel like the only reason why you need a couple $100, and that's only to test out your samples and test out your products if you like it, is because when you release your store, they do a kind of like how they give you an estimated price of your products, how much you should sell them. This is how much it costs to make. This is how much we think you should sell them. You can either go up or you can either go down. They do the same thing with the units. So the recommended units is 45 for each product or whatever you're doing. And since I can't make an eyeshadow palette because you do have to pay, I'm sticking to single eyeshadow with this company just to see how everything works out. I haven't finished everything that I want to do yet, so I haven't really ordered any samples. So this is going to take me a lot longer than I had planned. But I will say this. This is actually really, really great, especially if you want to leave them at the recommended units, which is 45. You don't actually pay for your units. Let's say, like I said, lipstick costs $10 to make. If somebody purchased a lipstick, the reason on their website they put that it'll take like 5 to 7 business days, I believe, United States, to receive your product. And the reason why is because it's freshly made. They would literally make a single lipstick freshly made and then send it to your customer. Whenever they do that and your customer is charged, they paid $20 for your lipstick. The company keeps 10 and you're given 10. So what they do, instead of charging you for your manufacturer cost, they take it out once your customer pays for their product. And that goes for every single product that you have on there, which is really, really great, because if you want to keep it at 20 units or if you want to leave it at the recommended 45, whether or not you'll actually sell other units or it takes a while, that's an ease on your mind that you don't have to worry about paying those $10 per lipsticks per color. And especially if you're having more than lipsticks, you're having eyeshadows, you're having liquid lipsticks, lip gloss, and everything like that. And that is really, really cool because they deal with the payments, they deal with your website, they do everything for you. All you have to do is be a little creative with your website and everything like that, of like the background, the colors and everything. But other than that, you know, designing the packaging, you don't have any creativity or the creativity of the colors, mixing them or nothing like that. Now they do allow you to go and visit the manufacturer and the warehouse and everything where they make your products. Due to COVID-19, they're not accepting visitors, but they did tell me to ask them within a couple of months just to see if it's changed. And if they have changed, I would probably fly out to Canada and do it. Now, like I said, this is educational purpose. This is purely educational. Now, if there is something I truly, truly love, I may keep it and just purchase those products for myself, or I may release it. I haven't really decided yet. What I want to do is, like I said, educational. Be able to help somebody out who's always wanted to either learn how to design their own website, or how they can get a website, how they can get a domain, or which vendors I can actually use, which vendors are vegan, which that are certified vegan, because there is a difference. They can say they're vegan, but if they don't have it on there that they're certified or cruelty free, they have to have certification and everything. And I believe with most of them, you can willingly ask for that certification, just to make sure that it is documented, because some people can actually put on their logos without actually being vegan and cruelty-free certified, and they're basically just lying to you. And that could be really bad for you if somebody finds out, like one of your customers, and that can be a lawsuit against you and not the company that you got your products from. So I wanted to do the work because I got really, really interested, and I was like, that'd be kind of cool if I did find products that I truly, truly love, and I can say with full 100% guarantee, this is something I would use and I would totally love, and I would like to sell it to other people so they can love it too. If that does happen with one of these companies, whether it's non-wholesale or wholesale, I would totally upload it and probably release it. But other than that, I most likely won't. I haven't really decided. I'm still probably doing in the process of working on it and everything like that. So I'm not really sure. But I will say this. If you decide to do non-wholesale, and if you do it with this company that I'm currently doing it, which like I said, I'm going to break it down. Too much information already on this video. So if you do it with the company that I'm doing it, which I'll do a whole separate video about the company I'm currently working with now, have 2 to 3 days a week where you can sit down, be on your computer a good 4 hours or more. I would say you can make a makeup line in 3 months tops and release it. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this, I don't really potentially have too much time on my hands. But I wanted to see, how long does it really truly take to make a full makeup line? Does it really take that long? Does it really actually cost you couples of thousands of dollars? Like, what's the real truth behind it, or people just saying this is what it is when in reality it's a whole lot easier than it is, or is it actually truly that hard? So like I said, it's really kind of like a educational experimental thing. And since I did used to run a business, I used to do like the website, inventory, all that stuff. It really interested me and it got my like brain moving. So I'll be doing that. So during the week that I have off from school before I start summer, I would totally be using all my free time to look it up, to find more non-wholesales. I have found some wholesales, vendors and stuff like that, that I'm in contact with, but you remember some of them are actually closed due to COVID. Some of them are open. The one non-wholesale that I'm working with is Canada based. They're vegan and cruelty-free certified, and manufacturing cost is a little bit high, but that's the one I'm currently have like designs already made and products already in my catalog. So I will find more non-wholesales, and I do have a couple of wholesales that are still open, and I'm going to be contacting with them even more during this time. Hopefully I could get some samples within 1 to 2 months from now. Like I said, it is taking me longer because I am in school and I'm working, but I hope y'all guys enjoy this video, and please stay tuned. If you have any questions about traveling, or what you want to know how to travel internationally, or even within, you know, the States, or what you want to know between non-wholesale and wholesale makeup and how to make your own makeup line, leave a comment down below. Give me questions on Instagram, YouTube. I will do my best to my knowledge to answer them in my next videos. And I do want to say the videos that I already have filmed, I will upload them randomly throughout this time, but it's mainly going to be about travel. It's mainly going to be about makeup line versus how I used to do more makeup. So I'm going to be getting into that a whole lot more. So you'll probably see that a lot more on my channel. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something new, and please stay safe. If your government has you staying inside, then stay inside. I know it can be totally rough. I wish I could probably potentially just stay inside, stay in my bed and sleep for like a good 3 days, but I can't. I can't because I still have school and I still have work, which really, really sucks. But I'm grateful, I'm happy, and that's really it, you know?
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far.